This video lecture will cover material from Chapter 1 of the Human Anatomy and Physiology textbook. In this video, we will talk about organ systems. We will also talk about the major functions necessary for life and walk through the different organ systems that carry out these functions. What is an organ system? The organ systems we will be talking about today are a set of different organs that work together to accomplish a certain function or purpose. For example, your blood vessels and your heart are considered separate organs. Together, they form an organ system. They are able to circulate or move blood throughout your body. Either organ alone could not accomplish this. The blood vessels could hold the blood, but would have no way of getting it to move through the body, and the heart alone could pump the blood, but would have nowhere to pump it to. Together, as we'll see, they form an organ system, in this case, the cardiovascular system. Our different organ systems are working all the time to carry out necessary life functions, as well as other tasks. Many of these activities require cooperation of several organs, sometimes from different parts of the body. So what are these important functions that keep our organ systems busy? This is the core list of necessary life functions. Make note of these. With the exception of reproduction, our lives depend on our bodies doing these tasks and doing them well. Reproduction is not strictly required for the life of an individual, but it is important for the continued existence of our species, or any other species for that matter. Some of these life functions are linked, or related. For example, our bodies take in nutrients and energy from the outside during digestion. And they use this energy and this raw material for metabolic activity, or for the reactions that occur, chemical reactions that occur in our body, such as building new muscle or growing. The byproducts and wastes from these processes must also be eliminated. Each of these are considered different life functions, even if they have some related nature or they're interconnected. Different organ systems are devoted to carrying out one or more of these life functions, and we will walk through different organ systems and point out what life functions they help accomplish. The organ systems that we will cover in the rest of this video include the integumentary system, the skeletal system, the muscular system, the nervous system, endocrine, lymphatic, cardiovascular, respiratory, digestive, urinary, and reproductive systems. We're going to take this list from top to bottom, not necessarily keeping in order, and we're going to start with the integumentary system. This system can be thought of as your body's outer covering, and it includes the hair, your nails, and the organ of the skin. Yes, remember that the skin is considered an organ. It is comprised of several different tissues. This system is tasked with maintaining the boundaries between the outside environment and the inside of our bodies, which contain many other organs, muscles, blood, cells, and other fluids, among other things. One way to think about the function of maintaining boundaries and the function of the integumentary system is to think about an astronaut. An astronaut needs to wear a spacesuit because they cannot alone survive on the surface of the moon. Conditions are too harsh. In a similar way, many of the cells, tissues, and organs in our body cannot function or even survive if exposed to the outside conditions. And here, we're not talking about being exposed on the moon, even just outside on Earth. Our organs and cells would not be able to survive long. The integumentary system provides and acts as sort of a protective suit that allows our internal organs and cells to function on Earth, or anywhere else for that matter. In addition to forming the external covering and protecting deeper tissues, the integumentary system also contains nerve receptors, giving us our sense of touch. This system also contains sweat and oil glands, which serve different purposes. For example, sweat glands help keep our bodies from overheating. When we're hot, we produce sweat, and this cools us off through evaporation. The next system we will talk about is the skeletal system. This system, which you can simply think of as your skeleton for now, is made up of bones and joints. Bones provide protection to major body organs. For example, your skull or cranium protects your brain, while your rib cage protects your heart and lungs. Your spine also helps protect important nerves that feed into your brain. Your bones also act as a reservoir or storage center for minerals. Your bones are partly composed of minerals, especially calcium. The inside or the marrow of your bones is the site where your blood cells are formed. If you ever heard of somebody undergoing a bone marrow transplant, this is done to transplant the type of blood cells somebody will have and continue to make. One of the life functions we listed before is the ability to move. The skeletal system provides the framework for movement, but movement requires cooperation with another system, the muscular system. The muscular system is the collection of skeletal muscles, or muscles attached to the skeleton, that are found in your body. Remember that there are other muscles, for example, your heart or the lining of some blood vessels, that are found in your body. But here, for the muscular system, we're going to focus on skeletal muscles. Built upon the framework provided by the skeleton, the muscular system enables movement. As we will see in another video or lecture, muscles are a special type of tissue that can use energy to shorten or contract, and this force can produce movement. Many muscles may be involved in even simple motion, with some acting to provide a majority of the force for the motion, and others acting to stabilize the movement. In fact, many of our muscles are kept busy just by helping us to maintain proper posture. There are many different muscles in the human body, each contributing to different movements. Every time you go for a walk, or throw a ball, or chew your food, you are utilizing your skeletal muscles. Your control over these muscles, and your ability to respond to some event and move your muscles, depends on yet another system, the nervous system. Your nervous system consists of your brain, spinal cord, and nerves. The nervous system acts as sort of a control or communication center for your body. Your nervous system, in particular your nerves, sense changes in your environment or your body. For example, we mentioned earlier that your integumentary system contains receptors that can detect touch, hot, cold, or other sensations. These receptors send signals through nerves to your brain, where you consciously or subconsciously make a decision to respond. Receiving the input signal, otherwise known as the stimulus, and responding to the signal can happen very fast. The response can be activation of certain glands, or it can be a signal to muscles to produce movement. So far we have covered 4 different organ systems: the nervous system, the muscular system, the skeletal system, and the integumentary system, the last of which is not shown here. Notice that carrying out some necessary life functions, such as responding to a stimulus with movement, requires cooperation of the 3 systems shown here. The stimulus is detected by the nervous system, and the decision is made to activate the skeletal muscle, which uses energy to contract and exert force on the rigid bones of the skeletal system. The end result of this force can be the movement of the skeleton and entire parts of the body in a particular direction. Responding to a stimulus by producing movement requires the nervous, muscular, and skeletal systems directly. However, this life function would be impossible if these systems lacked energy, nutrients, and other materials. There are several other systems in the body that are responsible for bringing nutrients and energy to the muscles, nerves, and all other tissues. The digestive system is one such system that is necessary for the energy and metabolism in your body. Metabolism is simply an advanced term for describing all of the chemical reactions that are occurring in your body. The digestive system is composed of several different organs and structures, all responsible for breaking down food and allowing it to be absorbed into other parts of your body. To put it in another way, perhaps more simply, this is how your body takes in all the nutrients it needs for any and all of the necessary life functions. The digestive process begins when food enters your oral cavity, or your mouth. After this, it travels through the esophagus into the stomach, where most of the food is broken down. After this, the digestive food moves into the small intestines, which allows nutrients to be absorbed into the blood. Any remaining food passes into the large intestines and finally out of the body through the rectum and the anus. Other organs are involved in the digestion process, such as the liver. When we eat a meal, for example, a piece of bread, our body breaks down the carbohydrates into simpler sugars. Breaking down the food releases energy, but in order to fully digest the food and release the maximum amount of energy, the cells of our body need oxygen. Just as oxygen is needed for a candle or something to burn, our body needs oxygen to burn the food and the calories that we digest. We use up the oxygen in this process and produce carbon dioxide. Another system, the respiratory system, enables us to absorb this oxygen and to eliminate the carbon dioxide waste. Another way to think about it is that the digestive system is how our body absorbs or eats liquids and solids, while the respiratory system is how our bodies absorb gases. The respiratory system includes several passages or airways, such as the nasal cavity, the nose, and the trachea, which all lead to the lungs. The lungs are the organs where external gases are exchanged with those from the cells inside our body. In other words, this is the organ where we take in oxygen and dispel carbon dioxide. Now, the digestive system and the respiratory system both have organs where nutrients or oxygen gas are absorbed, but once they're absorbed, they have to reach every other cell in the body. To deliver these supplies to the rest of the body, we need another system, the cardiovascular system. The cardiovascular system includes the blood and blood vessels and the heart. These organs all work together to transport nutrients and oxygen throughout the body. Pumping blood through the body transports the nutrients from the digestive system and the oxygen from the respiratory system. It also transports carbon dioxide from the rest of the body back to the respiratory system, where it is eliminated. Other metabolic waste from the rest of the body is delivered from the blood to yet another system, the urinary system. The organs of the kidney and the bladder and the connections between them form the urinary system. In this system, nitrogenous waste products generated from activity and metabolism in our cells are collected from the blood at the kidneys. The kidneys act like a sort of filtration system for the blood, removing these wastes and sending them to the bladder and eventually eliminating them from the body. Because of its connection with the cardiovascular system, the kidney can also regulate the salt content, pH balance, and other features of the blood. Excess salt in the blood, for example, could be eliminated from the body or regulated through the urinary system. So we've seen another 4 systems: the digestive system, cardiovascular system, respiratory system, and urinary system. Again, cooperation between them, especially the first 3 shown on this slide, is important for delivering the nutrients and oxygen to all cells in our body. Any of these organs, or even organ systems alone, wouldn't be able to accomplish this, but together they normally keep all of the cells healthy and well fed, including the cells of the skeletal, muscular, and nervous system. We can see that these tasks and life functions are not easy. They require many different organs and different vessels for carrying fluid. Another system, the lymphatic system, helps support these functions by maintaining proper fluid balance in the blood. The lymphatic system has some resemblance to the cardiovascular, and lymphatic vessels can be found alongside blood vessels in many parts of the body. Fluid leaks from blood vessels in order to deliver the nutrients, and this fluid, or some of this fluid, is recovered and recycled through the lymphatic system. This recycling function can recover fluid, but can also recover other things leaked from the blood, such as cells and invading pathogens, even disease-causing bacteria. The lymphatic system also contains organs that act as control centers for the immune system, detecting these invading pathogens in the lymph fluid and allowing our immune system to fight them off. Notice that this defense system is a way our body can respond to a stimulus, but to do so in a way that doesn't involve the fast-acting nervous system, at least not directly. The slow immune system response is similar in some ways to how another organ system, the endocrine system, works. The endocrine system is a collection of glands and other organs that are not directly connected, but rather communicate with each other and the rest of the body through the bloodstream. The organs in this system respond to changes in the internal environment of the body by releasing molecules known as hormones into the blood. These hormones are mostly responsible for controlling and regulating internal processes. One example of the function of this system that many people are probably familiar with, especially if they know somebody that has diabetes, is that of regulating blood sugar levels. The pancreas secretes a hormone known as insulin into the blood when the blood sugar levels are high. Insulin directs other cells in the body to absorb the sugar and use it for energy or to store it as fat. Again, these decisions and this communication between the cells is done through hormones traveling through the bloodstream, not through electrical impulses traveling in the nervous system. The final system in the body that we will cover, the reproductive system, is not strictly necessary for the life of one individual person. However, it is necessary for the continued existence of a species. The reproductive system is also the only system here that is gender specific. That is, the organs differ in males and females. The function of the reproductive system is the production of offspring, or children. This system also produces sex cells, and when a sperm cell fertilizes an egg, the reproductive system of the female supports the eventual development of the fertilized egg into a newborn child. To review what we've covered so far, we talked about the integumentary system, the major component of which is the skin. Remember, this system functions to maintain a boundary or barrier with the outside environment. The skeletal and muscular systems provide the basis for movement and also protect internal organs. This movement is controlled by the fast response nervous system. The endocrine system provides slower responses and usually helps regulate normal body functions. The lymphatic system lets our body respond to infections and disease and also helps recycle fluid leaked by the cardiovascular system. The cardiovascular system, in turn, transports oxygen and carbon dioxide from other parts of the body to the respiratory system. The cardiovascular system also delivers nutrients absorbed by the digestive system to the rest of the body, while it collects from the rest of the body waste and transports this out to the urinary system for elimination. Finally, the reproductive system is the only one that is different in males and females and is responsible for producing offspring. Carrying out these necessary life functions requires cooperation between many different organs and organ systems. Remember that we are multicellular, with many cells forming a tissue and different types of tissue coming together to form distinct organs. Most of our cells and organs cannot survive outside of the body for long periods of time. Remember, this is one of the main functions of the integumentary system, or the skin, is to help protect cells and organs from the outside environment. All of our cells are interdependent, and they work together to accomplish what they could not do alone to make our lives possible.